Hey guys, welcome back to my channel C4D Wala, and in today's video we are going to create this simple looping animation inside of Cinema 4D without using any third-party plugin and any external renderer. And if you want to learn more about Cinema 4D motion graphics and other stuff, then don't forget to check out my Udemy courses. Links are available in the description. And if you're new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any much more time, let's get started. So here we are in Cinema 4D. Now as you guys know that Cinema 4D came up with this new user interface, but I am familiar with the old one. So over here you can choose old user interface as well. Let's disable this new layout and click on the standard. So we will get this old layout over here. Now we can try to do our animation. Okay, so first of all I am going to create one shape and I am going to select my UV sphere over here and press ND on your keyboard so you can see edges and vertices. Now segments I am going to choose somewhere around 40 maybe, and select this and press C to make this object editable. Then go to the top view with the help of middle mouse click. I'm going to select my polygons, then I'm going to select my rectangle selection tool, and I'm going to select this much portion over here. Now let's go over here, and now we will apply material to it. So simply double click and apply this white color material to this. Let's double click on it, and in our color options over here I'm going to choose complete white color, and in luminance let's enable this luminance, and brightness let's choose 80% or let's choose 75% like this, and let's close it. Now select this, and by holding Ctrl I'm going to simply drag and drop and create a duplicate of this material. Let's increase the size a little bit. Let's double click to open this. Over here we are going to choose black color. Similarly for luminance as well, we are going to choose black color, and if you want you can go to the reflectance over here and you can decrease the width of this reflectance like this, or you can decrease this value a little bit so you will see a little bit less reflection. Okay, and then we have this one extra black color. Now I need to apply this color on the other side, so I'll press UI, which is a shortcut key for invert selection, and let's double click on this one and we will apply this color. Now our sphere is ready, and now press NA again to go to our original view, and now we can start to animate this. Now over here if you create any UV sphere, by default the radius is 200, which means the diameter of this sphere is going to be 200, because radius is 100, so diameter is 200 like this. Now we will create multiple copies of it in positive x-axis as well as negative x-axis. So select this and double click and let's call it as main, and by holding Ctrl I'm going to create a duplicate and I'll call it as extra. Then I'm going to select this extra. I'll go to the coordinates and let's make this value plus 500 centimeter. Again by holding Ctrl, let's double click, and not double click but let's make this 1000, because 500 plus 500. Now I'm going to select this extra, and by holding Ctrl I'll bring this at the top, and now I am going to make this minus 500. By holding Ctrl, create duplicate, and let's make this minus 100 over here like this. Now this one is gonna go from here to here, so let's try to do that. I'm going to select this and I'll create one keyframe at X over here, and then around 30 seconds, or let's say up to 90 seconds, I want this one should go over here. Now if you guys know, the distance between these two is 500 centimeter, so let's go and choose calculator. As I said, the distance between, because this position of this one is 500 centimeter, so let's type 500. And now the diameter of this one is 200, because the radius is 100, diameter 200, so let's type minus 200 over here, which so we will get value 300, which means this should go on 300 centimeter forward. So let's type 300 over here and we will create another keyframe. Okay, now the basic logic of looping animation is that your initial frame and final frame should look same. So now if you go to the final frames, if you see over here, these two balls are touching each other, so this is my final frame. So initial frame also, that these two balls should touch each other. So let's try to achieve that. So because we have added the 300 over here, we have to select this and we have to type minus 300. So let's try to do that. If I type minus 300 over here, it's going forward. So let's type plus 300, so it will come over here. And same procedure for this. Over here we have to type plus 300 over here because this is a negative value. So if you see the initial frame, in initial frame also these two balls are touching each other, and in final frame also these two balls are touching each other. Okay, now let's select this. Now I'm going to select this, right click animation and show F curve, and hit enter, hit A to select all of them to apply this kind of line, or simply select this and hit Control A to select all of them, or you can simply select this like this as well by holding shift and then apply this linear, so there is not gonna be any ease in ease out. Similarly, I want rotation animation on z-axis over here. So on z-axis I'm going to rotate it. So initial keyframe should be 0, and at this 90 frame let's make this 360-degree rotation and create another keyframe. Then right click animation over here, and we are going to choose F curve, hit Control A and choose linear like this. So if you see this, now we will get this kind of animation over here. Okay, now our animation is ready. Now we need to add camera to it in such a way that it should look in the form of loop. So let's create one camera, enable our camera, and right now it is in perspective view. So let's try to change the view of this to parallel view like this. Okay, and in this view I want this should be at the center over here like this. Let's focus our camera somewhere around like this over here. Now there is should be one null object that should control the position of this camera. So I'm gonna go in my shape options and I'm going to enable my null object. Let's double click and let's call it as cam controller like this, and select this camera and move inside this cam controller. Now select this cam controller, go to the coordinates, and if you know that we gave animation of this one to 300, okay, but the distance between these two objects is 500 over here. So what we can do, I can select my camera controller. Let's create one keyframe at x at 0, go to 90 frame, and we will move this up to 500 centimeter over here, and we will create another keyframe. So if you see this, now we will get this animation somewhere around like this over here. Okay, now if you are happy with ease in ease out, you can keep it as it is, or you can simply right click animation, show F curve, hit Control A and choose linear. So now if you see this animation, we will get this animation like in the form of loop. Okay, so I'll keep it as it is. Okay, now we will add our plane. Let's go over here and let's bring this downward like this over here, and we will increase this value totally like this, also totally like this over here. Okay, and let's save this file, and we will apply this white color to it over here. Now we need to add light to it, so let's go to the start. Let's go to the top view, and we will bring our area light. Press R, and by holding shift I'm going to rotate it like this. Let's increase the size from here as well as increase the size from here. Press E, let's bring this over here, press R, rotate it like this over here, and then rotate it like this. Go to the front view, press E, W, and bring this over here like this, and if you hit Control R, we will get something like this, but there is no shadow. So select this light, go to the general, and we are going to choose area light. Okay, so along with this we will have some shadow over here. Let's make this intensity 50, and let's see what kind of results I'll get. I'll get something like this. So let's make this 100 only like this, and if you hit Control R, we will get something like this. Now if you want, you can zoom on this object a little bit like this. Okay, over here, and you can go over here and let's go to the luminance, and let's disable this luminance panel just for now. And if you see, we are getting this kind of stuff. So let's enable this luminance panel, and let's make this brightness up to 50, and hit Control R, and we will get something like this. Now let's select this light, and by holding control, let's bring this light over here, press R W, and let's rotate it like this. Let's hit Control R, so we will get this kind of lights over here. Now I'm going to select these two lights and I'll move inside this cam controller over here. Okay, so now we will get this animation continuously in the form of loop, and these lights are also gonna move along with that null object over here. Okay, and after that we just need to save this file. We need to go to the render settings. We will change the output height, width you can adjust accordingly. I'm going to choose 1080 height and 1920 width. All frames, frame rate is 30. Okay, and save, you can save the location of this file, that wherever you want to save. Format, I'm going to choose PNG, but you can choose any format you want, it depends upon your needs. Okay, and after doing that, all you need to do is simply press Shift R, or you can click on this icon over here, that will put this animation on render. Now this animation is ready.